Good evening, and thank you all for coming. This is a very important event, and I think you all agree this is one of the most important issues in our day, and the work that Apne Aap is doing is so crucial. This music is inspiring. But I guess we'll have more music coming. I just want to thank you all for being here. And as I said, I'm always really inspired by the work that Ruchira Gupta and Apne Aap do, and that the awardees that you'll hear more about shortly continue to inspire all of us, I think, to this very critical and deeply upsetting issue that is still alive and kicking. Excuse the metaphor. I kick and I jump. Fly. I don't fly. But I do want to commend this work of Apne Aap, and that's why we at the Asia Society are so happy to work together and to present this evening. And I also want to welcome those of you who are watching online. And we feel your presence, even if we don't see you here. So it's my great honor to invite our MC, Swayam Bhatia. And Sway is a New York-based actress, singer, dancer, model, drummer, comedian. Anything else? Probably more.
11th grader.
11th grader, oh gosh. Well, I didn't do any of that when I was in 11th grade, as far as I can remember. But we're just in awe of all your work. And I know many of you have seen her in Sophie in the Disney sequel series, The Mighty Ducks, Game Changers, and many other really strong and important serials on various broadcast platforms. But tonight we've got her, and we have one of the true influencers, and it's so important. And I think for us here at both Apne Aap and Asia Society, we're really honored to have you. And it's also about the work of, I'm not saying you're representing your whole generation, but to have somebody of your age and your inspiration leading the charge here is really important. So I want to thank you, and I want to pass it on to you. Thank you so much. Please, a big hand.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Last Girl Awards, hosted by Apne Aap, an incredible organization where no child is bought or sold. I'm Swayam Bhatia, as she mentioned, your master of ceremonies for this momentous occasion, and I could not be more honored to be in front of you tonight. Now, you may know me from the stage, from my music, or your TV screen, but tonight, I'm here for something incredible and very close to my heart, which is the fight against sex trafficking. Now, when I read I Kick and I Fly by the incredible Ruchira Gupta, who's with us here tonight, please give her a round of applause. I was truly deeply inspired. I mean, the story of Hira, a 14-year-old girl who, grew up in Forbesganj, India, who resists being sold into a sex trade. I mean, it really struck a chord with me, and the way she uses kung fu to fight against people. I mean, it's truly one of the most inspiring stories I've ever read. And as a 15-year-old woman, soon to be 16, the mission of Apne Aap resonates with me at a core level. And it reminds us that the injustices of sex trafficking are not confined to any age group, any nationality, or any community. So they are all issues that impact us all, and we have the power to bring change. The work done by Apne Aap is remarkable, to say the least, from educating thousands of girls from red light areas to aiding women in building sustainable livelihoods. They're making incredible strides. So the organization has this amazing 10-asset model, which includes empowering girls and women to build self-confidence. And I Kick and I Fly embodies this principle as Hira learns the power of her own body through the practice of kung fu. Tonight is not just any other award ceremony. It's a celebration of resistance, resilience, reclamation of our bodies and our lives. And the theme of this evening, I Kick and I Fly, the power of the body, I think it really encapsulates the essence of what we're all working towards, which is empowerment and liberation. So stay tuned, because we're about to announce our honorees and bring them up on stage, so you'll get to hear firsthand about their incredible journeys, what they've overcome, and what they're doing to make this world a better place for girls and women. So thank you for being part of this incredible and transformative night. Together, let's kick and fly towards a better place for girls and women and a future free from sex trafficking. So before we go on, let's watch this compelling video showcasing the impact Apne Aap has had, girl by girl, in combating sex trafficking and uplifting communities in India.
मेरा नाम है गौरी कुमारी, मैं 5 क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ। पिछले साल से मैं कराटा सीख रही हूँ। कराटा सीख के मुझे आत्मविश्वास बढ़ता है और निडर महसूस होता है। मेरा नाम है रिया कुमारी। पहले हम स्कूल जाते थे तो अकेले डर लगता था। अब 2 साल से कराटे सीख रही हूँ तो निडर महसूस होता है। अब हम अकेले बाजार से सामान ले आते हैं।
I hope that video stirred your hearts as much as it did mine. I mean, the real life stories of courage, resilience, and transformation are truly all why we're here tonight. So now it is my profound honor to introduce someone whose life and work personify those very ideals. Ruchira Gupta, please give her a round of applause. She is not just an Emmy-winning journalist, she's a game changer in the world of advocacy, and Ruchira unearthed the haunting stories of missing girls in villages and transformed that into a groundbreaking documentary that helped shape anti-trafficking laws globally. But the story doesn't end there. She founded Apne Aap, an organization that empowered thousands of women to step up out of the shadows of exploitation. She's also the creative mind behind the incredible novel I Kick and I Fly, a story that is born from her own experiences in activism. She's received some of the highest honors out there, like the French Ordre National du Mérite and the Clinton Global Citizen Award. And while she's doing all this incredible work, I don't know how she finds time, but she finds time to teach at NYU and visit her childhood home in Forbesganj, India, where the NGO Apne Aap is headquartered. So please join me in giving a warm introduction and applause as we welcome Ruchira Gupta to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Namaste. It's such a pleasure to have you all in the room, my beloved friends and allies. As I stand here tonight, I feel like we are all part of a rare and precious tapestry, each thread woven with love, dignity, and a quest for justice. If you're in this room, you're already part of an extraordinary community, a community centered around justice, dignity, and above all, love. You may know me as the founder of Apne Aap and the author of I Kick and I Fly, But what truly defines this movement are the untold stories of resilience and triumph that emerge every day from the work you do and the work that Apne Aap does. That's what tonight's theme, the power of the body, encapsulates. It's a tapestry of narratives woven from true stories of young girls and women who, despite all odds, have stood tall and soared. This gathering we call the Last Girl Awards because we give out these awards with a name and their purpose. We are here to honor those who have stood shoulder to shoulder with her, seen her, lifted her, and amplified her voice. The Last Girl is more than a tagline. It's a deeply meaningful philosophy. It signifies the girl or woman who is the most marginalized, often the last to be considered and the first to be harmed. These awards tonight honor individuals who have made it their life's work to stand by the last girl, to make sure she is overlooked no more, to amplify her voice and to champion her dignity. Now to Catherine, Melissa, Anne, Rana, Mykola, you're not just honorees, you are luminaries in the landscape of human compassion. Each of you serves as a beacon, showing us how action can rise from empathy, how love can turn into liberation. Your lives serve as lights, guiding us through the profound darkness of indifference. Your work provides that empathy and action, proves that empathy and action can coexist beautifully. A big shout out to our host, Swayam Bhatia, and to our phenomenal presenters, Mona, Neha, Rachel, Casey, and Malan. Your very presence tonight gives wings to the urgency and importance of our cause. Why are we all here? Because lifting up the extraordinary work of those we honor tonight is an essential part of our collective journey. It's not a finale, but rather a milestone, a moment to catch our breaths and say, what more can I do for the last girl? My friends, Apne Aap was born out of a desire to do more than just help. It emerged to challenge narratives, to recalibrate justice, and to destroy the obstacles that keep these young women and girls from being who they are meant to be. So as the night unfolds, I invite you all to engage. Let me extend a colossal thank you to the Asia Society, Rachel Cooper, Diya Srinivasan, Neelam Chaudhary, and my own wonderful team at Apne Aap, Kristen, Ram, Sanvi, Mrinalini, Taylor, Penny, Fatumata, and Sarina. And to my dazzling host committee, including Gloria Steiner, Ashley Judd, Rosanna, Sybil, Jong-hoon, Farhad, and the Toscanos. Your faith fuels us. Thank you for standing with us tonight here, not just with me, but with the last girl, with Apne Aap, and with every soul that believes in a world where no girl should be bought or sold. Let's ensure this is an evening that not only warms our hearts, but also reignites our commitment to the cause. Here's to an unforgettable night. Thank you, everyone, for being here and being part of our movement. Namaste.
What an inspiring speech. Please give another round of applause for Ruchira. Okay, let's keep this momentum going as we recognize those who have made extraordinary contributions to the mission that Ruchira has so passionately articulated. So now let's pivot this inspiration to action. Let's shine the spotlight on some remarkable individuals who truly embody the spirit of I Kick and I Fly and Apne Aap's unyielding mission to build a world where no child is bought or sold. Tonight's theme, I Kick and I Fly, the power of the body, is a celebration of our boundless human potential to enact change, much like the fearless characters in the transformative novel, I Kick and I Fly. So are we ready to meet some real-life heroes? Let's shift the spotlight to some incredible real-life change makers. Our first The Last Girl Changemaker Award presenter, Rachel Foster, has fought against social injustices for over 35 years. She's co-founded World Without Exploitation and is involved in social impact real estate development, providing shelters for survivors. Okay, sounds good. Scratch that. I'm going to find the right page. I found it. Okay. Let's just rewind. So, each presenter and honoree here tonight seems to amplify the urgency and the beauty of the work. We all are here to celebrate. It's hard to believe it can get any more impressive, but it does. Our next presenter is a strong advocate in the global fight for gender equality. Meet S. Mona Sinha, the Global Executive Director of Equality Now. For 25 years, Mona has used her business acumen to build, guide, and uplift organizations to create a gender-equal world. Please give her a round of applause. Our incredible honoree of the Last Girl Culture Change Award is Ream, a visionary who understands, not Ream. Oh, sounds good. We're gonna rewind one more time. Okay. The last Girl Changemaker Award. Catherine Wilson, the founder of Stop Trafficking US, broke free from her own shackles of sexual abuse and has since devoted her life to unshackling others. Her tireless advocacy was instrumental in the passage of a groundbreaking law in Maine law that decriminalizes the victims, targets the perpetrators, and offers a new beginning to survivors. Rachel, not Rachel, Mona, the stage is yours to introduce the living testament in resilience and transformation.
Thank you, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today with all of you. I was lucky enough to be one of the inaugural recipients of the Last Girl Award. Ruchira and I have known each other as middle schoolers growing up in Calcutta, India, and it's been a true honor to be part of Apne Aap, lead the board for many years, and now lead Equality Now, where we continue the work to end child sex trafficking around the world, inspired by the work of many of our partners, such as Apne Aap. This award is more than just a statue. It's a meaningful award because it reminds us of why we are here. It evokes a call to action to encourage us to continue this fight, because sadly, it's not going to end anytime soon unless we all galvanize everything we have to make sure that no child is ever bought or sold. On to Catherine Ann Wilson. Catherine, it is my honor to present you with this award, and I welcome you on stage to receive it. Catherine is the founder and executive director of Stop Trafficking Us. She embodies the spirit of the award because she herself has spent a decade fighting for survivors from the experience that she sadly had to face herself. What sets her apart is her lived experience, that she brings knowledge firsthand from the point of view of a survivor, and she educates first responders as well as provides hope to women who find themselves in these situations. Her courage and fortitude are really remarkable and is a solution to survivors of Maine. Apne Aap proudly salutes you, Catherine, and I'm so honored to present you with the Last Girl Award.
Hi. I am deeply honored to be here. Thank you. I stand as a beacon of hope for too many children who've been abused, beaten, raped, abandoned, and sold by the very souls that were entrusted to care for them. Although I have seen and physically endured the worst, very worst of humanity, I believe in the good of the majority of our global tribe of human beings. In 2014, I was in my late 40s, volunteering at a local jail for children. All the girls in my girls' group had been sexually exploited, and I wondered how this could still be happening some 35 years later. I wondered what was missing in our communities that would allow this to happen. It must be some sort of profound ignorance. What could be done? Effective mass education. I think there's 1.7 million people in the state of Maine, and somehow I was going to get in front of all of them and educate them. I made up that if we weren't all united in the care and protection of children, the elderly, animals, and our planet, then there needs to be a proper wake-up call. I had not fully realized that my experience could make a considerable difference until I was working in the jail volunteering. That impact that I had on those girls made me realize that I could do something, I could help. So I began my journey to educate as many people as possible. I would bring a bridge of proper education to my community. I would learn what groups needed to be educated, first, second, third. Who are the highest and best trainers in the country that I could bring to educate these folks? How much do they cost? I would fundraise those funds. I'd pay for the education in full. I would record it so I could increase the reach, and I would offer it to all participants free of charge, always. To date, through my combined social media accounts and the various YouTubes and conferences, we reach about 76,000 people a month. One of our 3-day virtual trainings for teachers, social workers, and law enforcement had 679 participants, 100% of all prosecuting attorneys for the state of Maine. It was the first time there was cross-training in the state of Maine. In our in-person conference on technology last fall for students, teachers, and staff, we recorded that. It is now mandatory for all Catholic schools across the state of Maine and is on the Maine School Safety Center. We were given an MPV award from the New England Patriots Myra Craft Award, which gave us $10,000. That paid for 1/3 of that last fall's technology conference that we did. I was also invited to speak at the White House with a group of faith leaders across the nation in 2019. They wanted to know my opinion. That was a thrill. I also received a citation of honor from the Kings County, Brooklyn, New York, a human trafficking task force. We have an in-person training next month for law enforcement, Homeland Security. We've got about 200 people registered for that in-person training on vicarious trauma. How can we help those who are out there protecting our children to keep them in their jobs, keeping them personally safe and their unit safe? We have a virtual training for faith leaders this November. We have an in-person. We're expecting thousands of people for that. Faith leaders need to be educated as well in May. So I am bridging various programs to our schools. And actually next month we're doing a training for bus drivers. This is just to name a few of the things that we've done since